And the product is what are they going to way to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. There it is. So when you're, the next part of it is the product. And the product is what are they going to be creating? Are they going to create a poster? Are they going to create a comic? Are they going to create a digital book? Are they going to create a video? There's so many things that they can create. It might be an event, actually. Maybe they've decided to host an event. Maybe they've decided to do an advertisement. Maybe they've come up with an activity. That way you can that might make it actually a lot better. So I'm going to hide that. There we go. Let's see, is that better? I hope so. You can't? Okay, good. When you do have brainstorming time, I usually give them 5 or 10 minutes to come up with something. So one of the projects I did, these are students I worked with in Croatia. And what are they doing? Well, one of the things that they did was I asked them what are problems around the school. And then I came up with the story behind it. I said, okay, the XYZ company is coming and they are inventing, they need to invent apps for students, for teenagers. So they want your ideas on what's going to be an app to really help teenagers. And so the students went and got into groups of 3 and 4. They could do anything with the app. And then they were just they made a video showcasing the app. So they could do anything with the app. They could disappear, they can fly, whatever. They have, in my particular project, that's what they were doing. This lasted 45 minutes, by the way. They were able to do this in 45 minutes, and we had very little technology, so it happened to be very good. And they can either brainstorm, which is sometimes when I'm doing a 45-minute lesson is what I get them to do. I'll give them, for example, a graphic organizer, a KW, or maybe they'll just go and they'll make a mind map, and they can do it or Chromebooks or something. Then you could use a web tool, and one of the web tools is Poplet.com. Poplet is really amazing. You can have an entire class get together and brainstorm on one Poplet. That I like is you can have here where they can go and they can add videos, they can add their own text, they can draw, they can add images, and they can add their different links and resources they find. You can also have them do research. And when they do digital research, that's part of digital literacy. Here are a few tools that are really good for research. One of my favorites that's really good for a long-term project is Evernote. And the reason why is Evernote, you make notes, you can have a document camera, you can have a saved photo, so you can even record audio. science projects, one of the things that happens is that you have to observe for a long period of time. And usually when you do field research, when you go and you observe an animal in its habitat, for example, you're observing a spider or something, and you look at it every day, and you look at the spider's web every day to document the location of where the spider's at. Notes or type notes or audio notes that talk about the differences you noticed from the day before. So these are all types. If you do a plant, the same thing. You want to document, every once in a while to see its changes and what you're learning to make predictions. So when you're doing this type of a project and it's long term for that. Here you can see if you use post-io, then you can use that for Evernote, and your students' research can be posted in a blog post. So I think that when you get a long-term project, and especially for and it's safe, Evernote is very, very safe to use as well. Then I think it's very, very quick for teachers. It's an easy way to get your students to blog. It's also a great way to get them to do research. Another tool that I think, and remember, all of these are free for your learners in your class situation. Depending on the project, depending on what tools and technology you have available to you in the classroom and at home, and also how much time you have, this is all part of which tool you think is best for your classroom. So try and find the tool in this presentation. You'll see a lot that jumps out at you and you say, wow, that looks really interesting. And that's the one to try. So you don't have to do all of these. The one that's a really good looking tool. I think I would like to try that. EduClip, a lot like Pinterest. You can have you can actually create classrooms, and you can pin resources for your students to research. If you have articles, a video, any board for your different classes. So you can have a class, your business English class, or let's say you have Science 101 class. Oh, you can find all of these so far, all the tools and everything, at these bookmarks, by the way. So I'll keep sharing that. And then the great thing is each student can go and they can reflect on whatever they post. So they can have their own boards. They can turn in assignments to you. You can even grade within EduClipper. You can put with them. Okay, so the great thing about EduClipper is if you're doing project-based, problem-based learning, when you set up a board, you can add the video or the story or however you introduced it. Then you can add your worksheet. Let's say that you put in the checklist of what they have to have, okay? You can add that to it. Or the places that they can start. Let's say you have a web quest you want them to go through. And then you can even give them that as an assignment. Great. Brainstorm. What are they going to do? Are they going to create? What can they create? So you might say, wow, there's a lot of ideas, but I need some project ideas. The student making their things. So there's a lot of things you can, just a few ideas. You can have them make a public service announcement. What that means is it's a short 15-second, 30-second video, and they can use digital cameras, whatever you have available. They can work in groups. And a public service announcement is when you go and you make the announcement, but you also it's a way of getting people to think about good issues and stuff. So, for example, you'll have so what it is it's a way of making people pay attention to these issues. Do a party, or give a study, or put the news out there, and people can listen to the podcast and they can learn about the topic. So, for example, if you're teaching science, then every day you might want to do science fact podcast, or you might want to interview people with science. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can have them create a comic. That's one of the easiest things that students get to do first in my classes is they have a project where they take a piece of literature or something that we're studying, a poem, or they'll take a chapter out of a book or a section out of a book, and they have to translate that into a comic. This upcoming year, I'm really hoping, if cross my fingers, get my class of students, we're going to do a big project where we're going to that's one of the easiest things that students get to do first in my classes is they visual form, so people will be able to post them and look at them and really pay attention and get a general gist of an issue. They do that, for example, the World Cup, they put statistics up, or even the Olympics. So there's a lot of different things you can put in the crisis right now, or any type of like if there's if let's say your particular area got damaged by a tsunami or anything like that, you can actually put the statistics of what happened and the cost and everything, like put in an infographic. You can have the so there's things to make digital papers. You can have them make tutorials. Let's say that the idea is to teach teachers, parents, and students how to use some of the tools. Then that could be a project, or and then they can also have a blog. So there's lots of ideas out there. This is one of my students' projects. One of the things I get them to do is an e-portfolio. Now, you can have anything. You can have, and I still think that Prezi Web Tool App is one of the best presentation tools for students. My students love it. And one of the things that I love about Prezi is now they have voice narration. So my students, they take the different links, they put videos, looks pretty, but the same time they're doing their voiceover and they're talking about the so they can add video, music. I think it's a really one of the best tools for presenting. So here you can see what it looks like at a closer inspection. So they were supposed to make a responsible use policy, acceptable use policy. She's telling me here, this is her task, and she puts a link to it, and it makes it very visual and nice. She talks about here where you have different types of comics as well. You can have and do, I put them in a Pinterest, so you can actually go and in this particular, when you go to the Pearl Trees link here, you'll be able to have the links for all of that. Yes, exactly. Project-based learning with ICTs. The next one is PictoChart. PictoChart.com is the easiest way to, and there's always teachers' accounts. Remember, these are free, so you can go use them on for free. But PictoChart.com, I think, is the easiest way to make an infographic, and I really love what teachers are doing with infographics. They give you different templates. They give you tutorial background. You can choose their text. You can choose their stickers, and they even put charts up for you. So it makes it really easy for after your students go and your students are able to head and they research. Let's say you had them do some research. So they have to get statistics and stuff. Then they can go and they can create an infographic with that. Let's say you're having them make digital posters. So let's say they did research on animals or maybe on a culture or anything like that, and you want them to make a poster. Well, here's some good tools. Everybody knows that I'm a huge fan of Bunsy. Bunsy even has different, if you go to the Edgy Bunsy, then you can create a teacher account for free, or you can do the regular Bunsy. Bunsy is a lot like Glogster, but it's a lot less clunky. So I have a lot less problems with Bunsy. You can make several slides. You can make more than one slide. You can add audio. You can add pics. You can add all these kinds of things. So Bunsy is one of those things that to make videos. They let you choose characters, they let you put fun things, and all the teachers that I have love this tends to be their favorite tool, and they have their students create the best Powtoons ever. They can make marketing advertisements, they can do about me posters, so you can do a lot of different projects for this. You're doing a litter campaign, it makes it to where it's a really, you can do bullying videos. I mean, you can do so much. And the great thing is your students hide their identity. You won't, yeah, exactly. As Peggy says, kids love it too. And the thing about it is it protects them because it doesn't use their voice. It doesn't use their image. It can, but it uses their thoughts and ideas, and it makes it really pretty. GoAnimate.com is another of my favorites. It's a great way to do role playing. It's a great way to make a video. And then you can use different backgrounds. So if you're trying to get them, for example, to retell history, maybe you're going to do a Thanksgiving story and you want them to retell the story of Plymouth, then you can use GoAnimate and they can retell it. Let's say that you just want them to take what they learned and maybe plan a trip. Maybe they're going to do a class project where they're planning a trip together and they have to come up with, you give them the budget, and then you have them, they can choose anywhere in the world to go. They have a $500 limit and they have to put how they're going to travel there, what are the things they're going to see. They can make a quick video about that. So GoAnimate.com would be very good with that. It lets you choose different accents. It lets you put text to speech. So the tools that I'm sharing are ones that get the students to use their voice, that gets them to use text, that gets them to take and translate and interpret information, what they read. Yes, they do type the text and it converts it to speech, or they can do their personal voice. So it's up to them what they want to do, and it gives them different accents. And it also makes it visual. It adds visuals to the thoughts and ideas. Let's say you want them to create a book. So let's say they're learning about a culture or the history of whatever your city or town or country is. If they Little Bird Tells is a great way to do this. They can add their own drawing. You can, by the way, all of these that you create, all these creations, all these products by students, you can put them, you can embed them, you can put them in your blog, you can put them on your class or school website. They allow you to do that. They allow you to share for free. They allow you to create for free. They allow you to create free accounts. And these are the ones that I felt were very safe for students and teachers. Now, of course, you always want to go and you want to check yourself, but these are the ones that I think they've done a good job of hiding the bad stuff. They don't necessarily have like bad advertisements and things like that. So these tools are why I'm recommending these and maybe why I'm not recommending others. The other thing is they get you to use your voice, and they can draw and other things as well. LittleBirdsTells.com is actually my favorite storybook creator. I wish they had a very good app. Their app, I think you have to pay $3 for, so this isn't that always that great. But the thing is that when you have Little Bird Tells, when you do online, it's wonderful. You can send this to parents, and the thing is, when your parents start seeing these projects, they really love them. They just think it's a great way to see the learning, and they see how creative their student is, and the students love it. So then they think that learning in your class is really good. Now, BookCreator I put up there. It's my favorite book creation app, but it's only an app, and that's why I put it towards the end, because I know it's only an app. But it is a really good app, so you happen to have, and then afterwards you can go and you can sell it on the Google Market, the Google Play Market, or iOS. On the iTunes, iBook, sorry. And this is what some teachers have done, actually. They've gotten their students, here's the 2 kids in Desert Town, and they actually put them up there, and then they can raise money for their schools. That you can raise money to put technology in your school. You can raise money to, maybe you need to get a new heating system for the school. You can do that. So they've actually created these books, and then they have gotten money or donations from around the town, and then they also come and they fundraise. So I think it's a good idea. Now, I love make-believe comics. That's one of my favorite tools for creating comics, but I really wanted to share, so I'll put that one too. I mean, it's a really, really good one. The thing about it is that make believe comics, it doesn't do as much as toondoo.com. Toondoo will allow you to make comics, but it also allows you to make books. It allows you to make avatars. And so when I try to come up with like top tools for things, I try to find what that has different things. But really, I think I should have added make believe comics to this as well. So I'll actually go back and do that as well. So you'll be able to find that. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to end this pretty soon, but before I end this, I'm going to go ahead and give you all of these bookmarks really quick so you can find it. Oh, thank you, Peggy, because I was trying to find that. And then toondoo.com as well. We're going to have that. So how do you offer student choice? Well, there's tons of tools out there. And like I said, sometimes there's tools that I love. So for example, there's about 100 comic creation tools that I absolutely love. But when it comes to it, I want the students to be able to choose what they want to do. So what I do is I do a digital sandbox, and you can find this at, if you go to this, and I think it's also on the Pearl Trees too. This is where you'll find everything. But the reason I like doing this is your students, what they get to do here is they really get to learn how to do the digital. So here the idea is they're making a comic. So their project or their task here is create a comic summarizing your feelings after 2 weeks in the course. That's what my students are doing right now. And so what they do is I've embedded this symbol, and all they have to do is click on it, and they will go and they will visit that particular site. And then they play and they get to decide what tools they want to use. So if I wanted them to use a video, I could take the same idea and I could put Powtoons, I could put Animoto, I could put Magisto, and all these great tools, and they get to decide what is going to be the best one for them. So you can find all of these links and many, many more if you go to the Pearl Trees. I've put it there. You can download the slides, and Peggy's been really great to go ahead and share the slides and everything too. If you go to ShellyTarot.com webinars, you'll be able to go and you'll be able to download your certificate for attending today, and you'll also be able to get the recording, and you'll also be able to get the different slides as well. So thank you all so much for coming. I hope you found some new tools and some new ideas. And tomorrow, Peggy, what's the topic for your thing tomorrow? And have happy holidays. If I don't talk to you by then, I hope you have a very good Thanksgiving. And sorry about the